weird. Yeah. So I'm gonna talk some about maybe some aspects that he doesn't cover because we have a different background. And really, this is probably gonna be the worst presentation I've done ever. It's yeah. I don't have time to plan. I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to share some experiences about it. But that's the truth. So my name is Ole Andreas. I'm from a company called Krillbite Studio. We're a game developing company based in Hamar in 2 hours. Yeah, everybody knows where Hamar is here. And I'm going to talk about data skill engineers. All right. So just a brief introduction first of us. This is us. We're 11 people, and we're game developers. We're not working with databases and such. I guess you could tell that. I wouldn't trust those to handle databases.
Which one is it?
That's me. So I'm the manager there, and my passion is programming. So when I graduated as a programming as my major. So this is Norwegian. That's really bad. But I guess most of you guys know Norwegian, but I'm going to do it in English. So today I thought we'd talk some quick things about who we are and how we work. How it is to be a game developer in Norway. If that's interesting, I don't know. And I would love to hear some feedback during the presentation. Please direct me to the interesting fields you want to know about. And games, what are games? Why do we want to work with games? I want to talk some about that. So, at first, not as technical, and then I'm going to talk about the Kickstarter. Is anybody here interested in hearing about how we planned the Kickstarter, what went wrong, okay, right. Is anybody here gonna do a Kickstarter or considering or whatever? Cool. I want to talk about 3 projects among the Sleep, the Plan, and the Memento Mori. It's 3 projects we've developed, and they're at a completely different scale. We use Unity as your own, and the interesting part is how we use Unity in those 3 scales. And scales, I mean, Among the Sleep is a 11 people project, 3 years development time, you know, and Memento Mori is a 48 hours game jam game. So how that works out, how you can use Unity, for example, to do that. All right, so this is us, and this is about 2.5 years ago. So I've been doing this or managing the studio for 2.5 years, and we just won 15,000 Norwegian kroners, and we're whoa, what are we gonna do with all this money? We can do whatever we want, right? And Unity costs. But we had a concept at least, and it was something that people appreciated and believed in. So we kind of worked more on the vision and idealistic terms than the money, I guess. Right. So this is how we sit. And we've got another office which I sit in. It's just a small and compact. But we manage, and it goes really well. These are some of the projects we've done. This is the main project, that one in the top corner, the right corner, Among the Sleep. I'm going to talk some about that. We're running a Kickstarter for it now. It's been in progress in development for 2 years, and it's starting to shape up. We're going to finish it this year. And the plan is a game we've already released. it's a free game. It's not a big game, and it's had about 40K plus downloads, so that's a decent first release, I guess. And some game jam games, and a project we did in Unity for a hospital to visualize how the hospital is gonna be when it's built. So it was really cool to do more what do you call it? It's a not an entertainment project, you know, not an entertainment product. So that's it. So so developing a studio in Norway, a game development studio. You don't have many venture capitalists here in Norway, and we don't want to move to Silicon Valley. And we've been so the only way to do it is I guess hard work and lots of unpaid hours and just believe in your project. But there is some funding that you should be aware of if you're gonna do games. That is. Can I just ask a question? I know some here work with games or want to work with games, but can I get our hands up for game developers or those who are aiming to work in games? Any other guys? What do you do? Consulting?
Other apps.
Other stuff.
Other stuff. Like gardening and electricians. So I guess it's developers, all of you.
Create websites.
Websites. Okay, cool. So regarding funds, we've been really lucky and have done a lot of applications. And Norwegian Film Institute is something you should be aware of because they support games. So that's how we managed. They supported us with $1.5 million. That's a good start. And Innovation Norway is another institution. So you should know about these institutions and be aware of them and use them if you're gonna do work with games. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna
Did
go.
you get money from Innovation Norway?
Yeah, 400,000 in fund or etableringsstøtte. What's that? Establishment support, yeah. So we have some almost 2 million donors in support. But 11 people in 3 hours. No, 3 years. That's more than that.
Do you spend any of that funding in salary, or is it just going out to offices and maybe traveling to GDG and stuff like that?
I would say 90% salaries, or almost 95% salaries.
Okay, so
Salaries and taxes, and then you have the offices and GDC. You have additional support funds for those, so you can apply just for GDC.
okay, so when you mentioned that you had a lot of people doing 3 hours, this was like on top of their salary. So it's you
Yeah.
work full time on the game development, and you do like the overtime is on free or whatever you like to call it. Is that?
Yeah, it's we have a really it's a flat structure, not managed studio. So we kind of share the funds in salaries pretty flat, pretty evenly distributed by how many percentage you work this month based on others, and you have a set a sum you share. So it's an indie spirit thing, I guess. But the rest we work more than 8 hours a day, of course. So
Yeah, even though 2 million split in 11 is not much in a year, so
no.
yeah.
So there's a lot of own hours more. But hey, we want to do this, and Jerome also talked about how he worked without any salary for a year. That's how he established something. But I guess more of you guys know that. So why do we want to work in games when it's so hard to get a job, so difficult to start a company and everything because there's so many possibilities, and you just take every medium there is out there and combine them and use all the possibilities, and it's interactive, so it's you play the part as a character. So it's not you just observing somebody doing something, it's you doing it. You're making choices, you have to think what choices you're going to make and think about it in the past tense. So that's why we work in games. The interactive part, how you can challenge. I can challenge a player to make choices and think about the choices he made, not just observe something. But you have games like Zynga or Dragon Box, which is more educational games, and I buy those as well. Got all these possibilities, you know. Okay, cool. Should I cover some more about how it is to start a company?
Yeah,
or
sure.
do people know what it? Okay, cool. When we started the company, we were 9 people doing our bachelor project, so we had no idea. But we heard some rumors about money being distributed by the film fund, so we sent us an application, and we were kind of the first in Norway to be accepted as a pre-examinated group that received funds from the film fund. So it's possible. So and then you need 9 people, and you got 225,000 Norwegian kroners from the film fund, but you have no idea what to do with them. You have some vague idea that we wanted to hold the game. So what we did is we went to an incubator and asked them, could you help us establish the studio, tell us what to do, how to work with the government, how to work with establishing an AS, and all those things. So that's a good tip. Go to somebody who knows, an incubator, for example.
Which incubator did you use?
Hedmark is an incubator in Hamar. They've been pretty hard on specializing in games, actually. So that's cool. So we got in touch with them and got accepted as an incubator group company, and we established an AS, and there's a lot of paperwork involved, and send them off hoping it will be accepted. Probably it would. You all pitch in some. We own each 10% of the company. We're 10 people, so that's fun. And you kind of start working your way through the project, trying to get used to the different roles you have and get used to working together. That's probably one of our greatest hurdles, I guess, getting to work as professionals together. That's really hard, especially when you come right out of college. You know. But we managed for 2 years, and we're closing in on a release date on Long Sleep, so it's looking good. Any questions regarding that? You could ask me later. But I wanna go into more technical stuff as well, so I'm just gonna go forward. I just want to do some quick thoughts on the Kickstarter. Just gonna show you the page, maybe even the video if you want. Everybody here knows what a Kickstarter is, right? Anybody who doesn't? Okay. This is our Kickstarter page. When starting out a Kickstarter, you have to be ready to, at least use 2 or 3 months to prepare for it. It's a lot of preparation. talk to somebody who has done it before. We talked to Red Games. They are a developer based in Oslo here. They developed Dreamfall, if anybody's heard of that, and get some tips. So we have this funny document. It's started as a humble plan, and this is what is gonna. This is all the feedback, all thoughts, all everything that we've gathered getting started. For example, did you know that these are the most popular pledges? These are the ones you get the most money from. Just ask me and I'll share anything you want to hear about.
Question, could you repeat that?
Yeah, sure.
From the graphs, could you just explain those?
Yeah, sure. I don't know how trouble seeing it, so I'm just going to open But I can share this if people just email me and ask for some pointers on with Kickstarter.
Cool.
But you have like the most backers the most backers are on the lower tier, like for example like 10, 50, 20 dollars. But you get the most money from the biggest backers, like 10,000. So that's the one you should try and get. But you need all of them, of course.
What's your highest backer at the moment?
$1,000, I think.
Okay.
It doesn't change. Well, I'll share anything here, but just be prepared to do 2 or 3 months preparation work, because that's what's going to take. And a pro tip: first thing you do when you start out, get the Amazon account you need fixed out. Just fix that one as soon as you can. We had that fixed the last week or the Tuesday before Kickstarter launch, and we weren't sure if we were gonna make it, and we've already promised 20 journalists worldwide that we're gonna release it on that date.
Do you use the US or UK or German
US.
accounts? Yeah.
So yeah, the Amazon account fixed and make sure it works.
What do you get for 1,000 work from your project?
Teddy bear.
Okay, so that's a good question actually. I'm just going to talk about that. So you see here what you get, right? So we set up 12, 14 hours a day for 2 months preparing this. And when you do that, you get tired and you start seeing things and people forget things. So what we forgot to do before we wrote down the tiers and the rewards was to set up a matrix for the rewards. Please do that. The first thing you do, set up a matrix. Please do this. Our initial matrix had, well, we just wrote down the tiers, right? And wrote down what people are going to get and how cool it was, and yeah, didn't think much of how this would look. The $1,000, we had 3 backers, $1,000 when we did the first matrix. This is last night or the day before. The $1,000 backer didn't even have a copy of the game. He had access to the alpha test though. And he had access to the forums, so he could complain. It didn't say in tier text that he had access or he had all the game. So yeah, that I don't know if that scared somebody off, but it may have, you know. So do this. First thing you do.
Yeah. It's actually a feature missing from Kickstarter itself.
Yeah, it actually is.
Give you some feedback. I was really, tempted with 30 because you get 2 digital copies, but then I said, no, I want to support more, so I went ahead and did more money just because I like you guys. But I actually was really tempted by the $30 one because you get 2 digital copies in the package.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see that your most popular one is the $30 one, so it's really tragic if people are giving less money because they want that reward.
Yeah, and that's why you have add-ons.
I mean, you can't add an extra digital copy, can you?
Yeah, I think, no, you can. Why? Yeah, you can.
$40 an add-on?
$20 is now, and you have another digital copy.
I thought you get a teddy bear, you donate 10,000.
Because they're making it by hand. There's only one of them.
Yeah, because we want that one to be special, and it's just the way it is. Well, you get an executive producer role, and you get a day at our office. So you have dinner and everything
Yeah.
you want. So I guess you could get a teddy bear as well if you ask us. For 10,000. If anybody want to pledge, please go ahead. I can promise you'll make your teddy bear of 10,000.
Make it personal.
I'm just going to show you this video. It kind of explains our game as well, so please just show.
Among the Sleep is a first-person horror adventure in which you play as a 2-year-old child. It starts off with you waking up alone in the middle of the night to mysterious sounds and events around the house. When you start exploring, who knows what you'll find lurking in the shadows? You might find yourself wandering a long way from home. Among the Sleep is being developed by Krillbite Studio, a young independent game developer based out of a little town in a little country called Norway.
We established the studio about 2 years ago while we were studying digital interactive arts in Hamar. The studio started off as creative collective of friends, fueled by the desire to craft unique and interesting video games. We started working on this idea called Among the Sleep as a thesis project. The more we worked on it, the more potential we found, and the project grew and grew.
The game is heavily based on atmosphere, exploration, and using the 2-year-old child's perspective to drive immersion. For example, we've experimented a lot with physical interaction with the environment. For instance, you'll be able to see the body of the child at all times, and you will have to use your surroundings to find places to hide from danger. In diverse environments, inspired by our dreams and the endless imagination.
Hold on, what is your phone? Yeah, what is your phone? It's cool. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll take it off.
We hope that when people get to try it, they will see that this is not just an FPS with the camera closer to the ground, but that the perspective of the child actually adds a whole lot to the experience. We're working hard with nailing the correct atmosphere, place the player in a really immersive setting. One crucial aspect is sound design. We try to use the audio to set the mood by creating a unique and tailor-made atmosphere. Sound is such a powerful tool.
because often the things you do not see are the most scary.
So why is this project on Kickstarter, you might ask? The main obstacle is that everyone at Krillbite still works part-time jobs to survive. This naturally slows down the production of Among the Sleep tremendously by demanding time away and obscuring our focus. It also influences the quality of our work. We want to divide the ownership of the company and projects evenly among those who actually work on them to stay as equals. Also, we would really like to keep Krillbite independent and free from the boundaries of a publisher. So therefore, we found that we need to finish Among the Sleep. Even though we've come a long way, there is still a lot to do before the game is where we want it to be. The money will be used to let key members quit their part-time jobs so we can focus fully on the last phase of Among the Sleep development. And of course, there's tons of rewards for you to choose from, including copies of the game and exclusive goods. If we meet our funding goals, we expect to finish Among the Sleep already towards the end of this year.
So, if you also think Among the Sleep looks interesting and would like to help us finish it, this is your chance. With your help, we'll be able to complete it and make it the great scary game it deserves to be. Thanks.